Tonight on Citrus TV News, the conclusion of Greek Week. What makes this year's event different from the past?
And first-year players debuts their new show, Big Fish. We'll have when and where you can catch it.
And it's the season of spring, and it's finally feeling like it. Since spring began, it was warm, cold, and then warm again. I'll let you know if the weather this time is sticking around. Your campus news leader, Citrus TV, starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
We begin tonight with the opening of the first-year players show, Big Fish. Good evening, I'm Johnny Oliver.
And I'm Jamie Weiss. FYP is the only entirely student-run musical theater organization at SU, and their yearly show opened last night.
First-year players provides freshmen and transfer students the opportunity to perform in an annual musical. This year's show is Big Fish, and over 100 students are involved in all aspects.
You can check out the show all weekend in Goldstein Auditorium. Tickets are available at the Shine box office and are $3 for students. We spoke to one student involved who tells us why you should go see Big Fish.
Everyone's put so much time, energy, and love into this show, and we're so passionate about it. And we really want people to see it because the show has such a positive message that we think could really be applicable to a lot of people on this campus.
Today is Good Friday, and this weekend is the Easter holiday. Events are taking place on campus for those who observe the holiday. On Saturday night and Sunday morning, the Catholic Center on campus will be having an Easter Vigil and Easter Mass. Plus, at 7 p.m. on Sunday, the Hendricks Chapel Choir will sing a special prayer collection with the SU Brass Ensemble. More information can be found on Hendricks Chapel website.
Today at Byrd Library, architecture and engineering students teamed up to raise awareness about sustainability through an interactive installation. Citrus TV News reporter Mary Armstrong has the details.
The biggest goals was to raise awareness about sustainability around campus, and not necessarily in a way to produce something that's sustainable in itself, but rather something that gives the message of sustainability and something that's immersive and something that's interactive for students to go through and experience.
The installation at Byrd Library is a part of Syracuse University's efforts to become more efficient and aware of rising climate changes. The project was a shared effort by architecture and engineering students. Today was made possible through a grant funded by campus as a lab for sustainability.
The working together, all the nights together was great. Working together was the best, I think.
The installation became interactive through motion sensors that, when triggered, would display holograms and moving parts. The installation also reacted through a display of flashing lights when people tweeted #SustainCuse.
Syracuse University is already doing a lot for sustainability. Like the campus has a program that goes up to in the next 40 years, there are a lot of things they want to do. And we want to aware people how important sustainability is, how easy you can change something in your everyday life.
The first floor of Byrd Library was full of posters and information regarding sustainability and what students could do to make a difference. Members of this project also raffled reusable water bottles in order to show how the smallest act could have a big impact on the environment. The sustainability installation will be up now through the next 2 weeks on the first floor of Byrd Library. Mary Armstrong, Citrus TV News.
The installation will be up at Byrd Library for the next 2 weeks.
Maxwell Auditorium is hosting a second teach-in tonight until 7 o'clock. The event is part of a series that is discussing policy changes and issues from the Trump administration. The goal is to teach people how local groups can change national issues. Professors from the university and speakers from the city will be teaching throughout the event. The teach-in is free and open to the public. And the iSchool has a 44-day-long fundraising period to raise money for student-centered projects called Refuel. This year, the fundraising has passed the $20,000 goal. This prompted a matched gift of $10,000 from the iSchool Board of Advisors member Stephen Marsh. There are currently 4 initiatives pushing for the top funding spot. They include iSchool road trips, student immersion programs, library programs, and women in international studies, information studies.
Today marks the end of Greek Week at SU. Citrus TV News reporter Jenna Babiak reports on this year's revamped week of Greek unity.
The focus for Greek Week this year has been Greek unity and really getting people to know each other and interact rather than focusing on competition.
The Office of Fraternity and Sorority Affairs has redesigned Greek Week at SU this year. Each chapter was paired with other chapters to form teams. These teams competed to earn the most amount of points throughout the week.
We've worked all semester to reach out to chapters personally, even attending chapter meetings, speaking with chapter representatives on multiple platforms to really rebrand Greek Week.
Greek Week kicked off Sunday with a barbecue on the quad. Monday was social media day. Teams earned points by posting pictures with other Greek members. Tuesday was the Marshall Street takeover. Students had access to deals and promotions by wearing their Greek Week wristbands.
Greek Week continues this week with more events happening around campus. Members from all organizations are encouraged to participate and learn more about other chapters.
Yesterday was the Greek Week Day of Service. The Greek community planned a carnival at the Syracuse Boys and Girls Club.
Honestly, the kids are awesome, and the environment is really conducive for leaders like we have in our Greek community to really reach out to these kids and show them that people do really care about them.
Today, the Greek Awards were hosted in Hendricks Chapel. This ceremony recognized chapters and students, and the winning team of Greek Week was announced. Jenna Babiak, Citrus TV News.
The winning team of Greek Week will be announced soon on the SU Fraternity and Sorority Affairs social media accounts.
Newhouse's Tully for Free Speech announced a new event today. This Tuesday will be a presentation and discussion on the topic of internet governance in China. A professor of a Chinese university will be speaking on an exploration of an integrated approach. The event will take place in room 102 of Newhouse 1. And the New York State Fairgrounds are getting a bit brighter for the next few months. From April 14th to June 24th, the Chinese Lantern Festival will be here in Syracuse. The festival features Chinese lantern displays and is open every day except for Mondays. The festival opens at 5 p.m. with food and performances each night. April 18th is SU Student Day, and students with a valid ID will get a discount. Normal tickets are $15.
Well, you saw us outside before, and Johnny, it was a beautiful, sunny spring day.
It definitely is, and I'm hoping it stays that way for the weekend. Citrus TV weather anchor David Elstein is here with your weekend forecast. David, are these warm temperatures staying around?
Johnny, it is definitely a nice spring day today. Outside, blue skies. Right now, it's 58 degrees, and the thing that's different, though, it's been about 58 degrees all day. What's changing is the real feel. It's about 59 degrees. Still sunny outside as it gets to the nice sunsets of spring, but it is going to feel a little bit chillier than it did throughout the day, where we felt temperatures almost around 71 degrees. Taking a look at our region, we could see that it is about 58 degrees in Syracuse. Down in Elmira, that's where it's highest at 60 degrees. Around the rest of the area, about the same. As we look at our radar, we could see basically the clear skies that we've seen, not even a cloud in sight. But towards around 2:30 p.m. tomorrow, we get a lot of rain coming into the area, and we'll drill down more on whether there will be more blue skies or rain sticking around for the rest of the week.
Up next, the aftermath of the U.S. bombing in Afghanistan. We'll have the latest details.
And what new laws Canada is trying to create. Citrus TV News will be right back.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
You're watching Citrus TV News with Johnny Oliver, Jamie Weiss, and David Edelstein with weather. Citrus TV News continues now.
Murder trial of Aaron Hernandez. Nearly 2 years to the day after the former NFL star was convicted, jurors have been deliberating first-degree murder charges against Hernandez for more than 40 hours over 6 days.
The former New England Patriots tight end is accused of fatally shooting 2 men in 2012. Hernandez is also serving a life sentence for the 2013 killing of Odin Lloyd.
36 Islamic State fighters were killed by the massive bomb dropped in Afghanistan. According to a defense statement, no civilians were injured in the attack, but several ISIS caves and ammunition caches were destroyed.
This was the largest non-nuclear weapon drop ever used in combat by the U.S. military. The bomb was a massive ordnance air blast weapon nicknamed the mother of all bombs.
And North Korea is preparing for the Day of the Sun holiday, which marks the 105th anniversary of Kim Il-sung's birthday. The country is issuing a new warning to the White House about the growing concern of a possible U.S. response to a North Korean weapons test.
A North Korean spokesman said there will be a merciless response to any action from what he called the reckless Trump administration. But today, a U.S. military official said the U.S. does not intend to use military force against North Korea in the event of a nuclear test, but the plans could change depending on the situation.
We would like to say that this is a Good Friday in more than one way. We would like to report that the fugitive that has been sought in a nationwide manhunt for the last week and a half, Joseph Jabakowski, has been apprehended.
The man who was wanted for stealing guns and sending a threatening note to the White House was caught this morning. Joseph Jakubowski was found camping on a farm in Wisconsin.
The property owner talked to Jakubowski when he found him camping and says he never felt threatened but recognized his face later on and called police. Jakubowski stole 18 firearms from a gun store and planned to use them in a series of attacks.
The law as it stands today has been an abject failure.
The Canadian government wants to legalize recreational marijuana by the next year. They say that regulating the sale of marijuana will help keep kids away from it. Officials say there is still a great deal of work ahead to make this a reality.
The Canadian government is proposing that pot would only be sold to those over 18, and local provinces would be able to set their own age limit even higher. And only 30 grams and 4 plants would be allowed per household. Plus, new tougher penalties would be added for selling to minors.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to the Citrus TV Weather Center. We took a look at this map a second ago. As we could see, the radar is clearly showing us the clear skies that we had throughout today's beautiful spring day. But around 2:30 p.m. tomorrow, we see some of the colors move in on the map. That's a lot of the rain that we're going to be seeing over the next few days, and we'll talk about that. Looking ahead, though, right now, some of the winds that we see outside, they're moving through the Syracuse area. At the moment, though, we see them really just up to 5 miles an hour. Blue we see in our area and some green towards the west. Over here, the Syracuse area, the central New York winds are moving down southeast, very much like breezes, though, nothing to be concerned about. But with storms coming in, we do see some of that swirling in all these surrounding areas. Over here, we could take a look at the map. As far as temperatures go, we're staying in the normal 69 degrees high and 44 degrees low for April, except as we move into this weekend. Some of the storms are going to keep some of that warmer weather in as humidity does rise slightly, and that's where we're going to see here a little bit higher. We're going to move into some of the 70s just for a few days. Tomorrow when you wake up, it's going to be 46 degrees. It's still chilly out, although it will get warmer throughout the day. Tomorrow, if you're coming to Syracuse in the Carrier Dome, for either of the two lacrosse games, we have a high of 66 degrees and a low of 58. There are going to be some winds picking up, about 12 miles an hour and 18-mile-an-hour gusts. Still nothing out of the usual, but a little bit of rain coming along the way. Take a look throughout the day. 52 degrees at 9 a.m., 62 at noon, and 6 p.m. is still 62. It is getting warmer throughout the day from that 46 when we wake up, going into the rest of the weekend where we're going to hit those 70s. It is getting warmer and the clouds are moving in to keep that down. It is good for me to tell you, though, I can finally announce that our pleasant day countdown has gotten to 0. We're going to see a lot more days like today in the 60s and nice and sunny, except for a few rain showers, as normal for this time of year. Pleasant days are here. But as for beaches, got to wait about another month and a half. I'll give you until mid-May if you want to be going to the beach until we could hit up the sand and the water. But looking now at this graph, we can tell percentage-wise, the chance of rain is going to be about what we usually see throughout this week, Saturday, Sunday, dropping off Monday, and then going back up on Wednesday. But humidity is also changing along with that. This is about normal. Don't be worried about the fact that the bar just rose a lot. It is going to be parallel, a direct relationship with the temperatures, including the rain coming by. And we could see that on our 5-day forecast. Saturday, it's going to be rainy. Sunday, some thunderstorms. Monday, we could get your sunglasses back out. Then on Tuesday, 60 degrees. We do see a drop-off in temperature coming into the weekdays. And that is what we're going to have for the beginning of spring.
Well, thank you so much, David. Thank you so much, David. Coming up next, another record broken in March. What the latest NASA report says for our environment.
Plus, a new company is getting in the driver's seat for the development of self-driving cars. We'll tell you who when we come back.
Here we go. We're going to go out there in the rain. You're going to get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh, yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Got a quarter?
What are you, superheroes?
Just 4 brothers who hate bullies and love this city. Gear up, guys.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
Today is the 105th anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic. On April 14th, 1912, the unsinkable Titanic hit an iceberg and sunk around midnight. Over 1,500 people lost their lives in the tragedy. Still today, the wreckage can be found about 350 miles off the southeast coast of Newfoundland and in the Atlantic. At the time, the Titanic was the largest passenger ship afloat. And NASA is calling this past March record-breaking for warm temperatures. They say it was the second warmest March since they started keeping records more than a century ago. NASA also says the 2 warmest Marches on record happened in the last 2 years. These findings continue to be a trend. NASA says this February was the second warmest, while this January was the 3rd warmest.
New changes to the NCAA rules that will be affecting sports here at Syracuse. The NCAA was voted to allow high school football players to sign with colleges as early as December. This means they can officially make early visits and put a 2-year waiting period on Super Bowl subdivision teams from hiring people close to a recruit. If this is approved by the board, the change would start August 1st. The Division I Council also approved a measure to eliminate two-a-day practices. And General Motors is getting in the driver's seat for the development of self-driving cars. The automaker says it's hiring 1,100 people to work at its new facility in California, where they're developing self-driving vehicles. GM is currently testing more than 50 Chevy Volts with self-driving technology in 3 cities.
Coming up in sports, both Syracuse lacrosse teams are in Chapel Hill tomorrow to take on North Carolina. Plus, a pair of seniors broke new ground for Syracuse women's hoop last night. Citrus TV News Live at 6 continues next.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Syracuse men's lacrosse's first test as the new #1 team in the nation, the defending champions. Good evening, I'm Paul Mancano for Citrus TV Sports. 7 straight wins have vaulted the Orange to the top of the national rankings. But the Cuse's next opponent knows a thing or two about remarkable runs. North Carolina shocked the lacrosse world by becoming the first unseeded team to win the national championship a year ago. An inconsistent regular season might again leave North Carolina without a seed in the NCAA tournament this year. But Syracuse head coach John Desko knows this team is always dangerous.
I think they're an excellent team. As you mentioned, they got a lot of guys back from last year's national championship team. But they've been sitting on top. They're the national champs, so they're going to get everybody's best game when they play them. And they've had to deal with this year, along with all the parity. No one's been #1 for very long this year. So it's it's a good group. I'm sure they're going to be fired up. I think it's senior day down there, so there'll be a lot of emotion down at Chapel Hill this weekend.
Coach Desko's squad has had the Tar Heels number since joining the ACC. Cuse has won 4 out of the last 5 matchups between the two teams. The Orange looks to continue that trend in Chapel Hill tomorrow at 4 o'clock. But before the men's team hits the turf, Syracuse women's lacrosse takes on North Carolina on the very same field. And the Tar Heels women's team has been much more consistent than their male counterparts. UNC is second in the nation with just 1 loss. Meanwhile, the Orange has seemingly righted the ship after a March slump. Cuse is 3-0 in April with big wins over Duke and Virginia Tech. SU and UNC meet tomorrow at noon. Brittany Sykes and Alexis Peterson made plenty of history as the 1-2 punch of Syracuse's backcourt. And last night, they notched another first for the SU women's basketball program.
Peterson and Sykes became the first two players in program history to be selected in the same WNBA draft. Sykes went 7th overall to the Atlanta Dream. That's the highest for any Syracuse women's basketball player. And 8 picks later, Peterson was snatched up by the Seattle Storm. Sykes played on 5 straight NCAA tournament teams with the Orange. Meanwhile, Peterson was last year's ACC Player of the Year and is the all-time program leader in assists. Both led the team on an unprecedented run to the national championship game a year ago. On the diamond, the late-game heroics helped snap the Chiefs' 3-game losing streak. Syracuse second baseman Corbin Joseph's 9th-inning double drove in third baseman Matt Skoll, broke a 2-2 tie. Then Joe Nathan capped a stellar performance from the Chiefs' bullpen with a perfect bottom of the 9th to earn the save. Outfielders Rafael Bautista and Brian Goodwin provided Syracuse's first 2 runs of the game in the 3rd. It's just the Chiefs' 2nd win of the season, but it's a solid start to a 3-game road series against the Red Wings. Well, the Calder Cup playoffs are just around the corner as the Chiefs prepare for what they hope is a deep run into May. But first, Syracuse has to close out the regular season this weekend against a couple divisional foes. The Crunch's penultimate game against the Binghamton Senators is tonight at 7. The Senators have long been eliminated from the postseason, but the Crunch's Saturday opponent is still clinging on to contention. The Comets have a slim chance of sneaking into the playoffs as the 4 seed in the North Division. Meanwhile, the Crunch have already locked up home ice for the first round of the playoffs. Both of their games this weekend begin at 7. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Maybe he's really focused.
Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Is back with weather. When should I be grabbing my umbrella tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're going to see clear skies up until about 2:30 p.m. That's when the clouds and the rain are going to move in. Otherwise, similar to today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, David.
Thanks, David. Well, coming up tonight on the Orange Television Network, Cuse Countdown previews the Orange lacrosse game.
And after that at 7 p.m. is Syracuse Unpeeled.
And at 7:30, Cuse Countdown again, all this on channel 14.1.
This weekend is Easter, and it's definitely going to be sweet.
That's right. A survey from the National Retail Federation shows that Americans are expected to spend a record amount of money this year.
That's right. The study estimates $18.4 billion will be spent for Easter this year. That's up 6% from last year and a new record high.
$2.6 billion will go toward buying Easter-themed candy.
Well, that is all for Citrus TV News this evening.
Check us out online at CitrusTV.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CitrusTV News.
I'm Jamie Weiss.
And I'm Johnny Oliver. Have a great weekend, Syracuse.